between the Indianapolis Colts and the San Francisco 49ers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Carr to throw. He's able to find Wallace. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Costello. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. He got 29 yards that time. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in.
And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis with his 16th touchdown of the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future as they start to peer into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners. Guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it's 3rd and 5.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
This one into the hands of Hurd. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Go. 50, plant. Go.
On 1st down, Costello. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Darius Leonard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 1st down, a bit of disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Costello. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
In his own end zone, it's Carr. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And San Francisco gets set to go here. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Pettis once again the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Costello looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
13 yards there and a Niner first. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he can't get away. Carr is going to go down, and that is a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So from their own 20 all the way to the red zone now. A chance to capitalize on 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. The numbers from last week's game for Ebron. 7 catches, 60 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big...
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Nick Bosa in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Carr going to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Off the play fake. Costello. Catch is made by Hurd. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Operating from the gun. Costello. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because they...
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, Because here we are in December,
giving.
right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Looking to throw. Costello. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off play action. Costello. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. That's what I do. Out.
They'll run on first down. Taylor. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Now Carr. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
On 2nd and 10, Carr. Aaron Donald. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago. And another one right here.
And the pressure gets to him again. Well timed there by Richard Sherman. A sack on the corner blitz.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players than football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will take over at the 20. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throwing to start the drive. Costello, check down to Breida. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. 2nd and 2. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Had his hands on it for a second. A little bit of tough catch there, falls incomplete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Get to the ball. Hey, world.
On 1st and 10, Costello. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Hurry.
Throwing again. Costello. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Jabal Sheard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
But no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Mike 50.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Costello completes it to Samuel. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Justin Houston able to record his 5th sack of the season. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the 1st half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have...
And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown.
Keep getting those touchdowns.
Dante Pettis. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this 1st half will come to an end. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the 2nd half. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And it was somewhat of a strange 1st half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the 2nd half.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the 1st half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the 2nd half. On 1st down, they look downfield, and it's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He's got the first down inside the 10, and finally taken down at the 4-yard line. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And across the touchdown 49ers. Matt Breida.
Right now.
On first and 10, here's Carr. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Now a pass dropped off here for James White. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
It's a loss of 2, now third down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if it was to bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now a dump off here complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a give coming right is Breida. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. yards, back to the 33. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Hey, stand up.
On first down, here's Breida. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On second down, it's Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they...
It's caught by Funchess. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Carr now on first down. It's complete. James White. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to.
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Nick Bosa, his 2nd sack of the night. The Colts on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Carr, he's able to find Wallace. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. This will be a 2-yard.
Hey, lock it. coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, his second. First down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Colts on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Working from the gun. It's caught. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. Back to throw. Costello able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.